Hey guys, welcome to Geared Forwards. My name's Paul and today we're talking bulbs. Obulbs. Now, this is a product that I really thought was kind of stupid, to be honest. When I first found out about it, like, why would you possibly want to buy that? Because I was looking at the specs, I was looking at the price, and I was looking at the picture, and I was like, what purpose does this fulfill? This seems like it's falling into the cracks of where people actually want. There's no market space for this. And so you're probably thinking, well, then why did you buy them? And yes, because I own a lot of Obulbs. And actually, I, for the most part, didn't. This was my first Obulb, and I got this in a package deal. I bought it the original Warrior Mini, not the revised version after the not controversy. And as part of a promo to sell the original version still, the UK Olight store was including, along with a couple of end caps that function like diffusers, including a free Obulb. And when I got my hands on it, it just kind of made sense. See, I was thinking that this was going to be 2 times, maybe even 2.5 to 3 times the size it actually is. But in reality, this is really, really small. And that really made more sense. When you have such a low lumen count in such a small package, it does make it more justifiable. And then the more I played around with it, the more I actually found that I was enjoying it. And then next came around an Olight sale, and I bought a particularly large bundle for other things that I wanted. I picked up a Seeker Pro 3. I picked up along with a myriad of other things, and included in that came 4 Obulbs of another model. You see, there are actually 3 different models of Obulb. This is the original, just the Obulb. See if you can focus. And then we have the Obulb MC, which stands for MultiColor. You might be able to ascertain what that's about. And finally, we have the Olight MCS, which I believe stands for multicolor sensor. Could be wrong on that, but that's what it is. And each one has its own price point along with its own set of features that build on the previous version. So let's start off with the original Obulb and bring in some confusion. This, I believe, is a first generation Obulb, and I believe this is a newer generation. I bought this off of Amazon well after I had most of my other Obulbs, and I'm going to be honest, purely because I wanted a green Obulb. Green is my favorite color, and I like buying things in green. So I picked this up, and I was expecting this to just be this in green, but not quite. You see, the difference is in how you turn them on. The Obulbs actually have a switch underneath the plastic here that you just push to turn on. But I don't know if I'll be able to show this off camera. Focus. You can see that little ring around there. It's the button you're pressing, not the contact but the raised portion around it. And on the original, that is raised a little bit so that you can just push down on the top and turn it on. And that's great. That is a very valuable feature in my opinion. And that I was expecting on this, but no. This is a revised version, and the base is similar to the MC and the MCS. There's no raised portion. I don't know if this was an error or if fully a second revision, or if this was the original, and that is a second revision, but I do think that is the original. So just be aware, if you buy an Olight, just the normal Obulb, you may get this nice additional feature, you may not. However, if this is on a charger, you still can push down on it to activate it. It's not quite as easy, but the raised contacts of the charger helps interface with the button. So let's go through the UI. You're going to have 4 modes on these Obulbs. Now the first is a 3.5 lumen, and the color is a nice warm white that you'd want out of a lantern. If you're thinking that the shot is a little bit darker overall, a little less consistent in lighting, that's because in all of my videos, this piece of leather is normally filled up in storage. I use these kind of as paperweights in the lowest setting, one on each corner of the leather, and they just throw a little bit of ambient light across the surface. Now this 3.5 lumen mode you're going to get for about 56 hours, which is great, quite frankly. This is not a lot of light. This is the kind of light that you would you could get away with reading by it if you really wanted to, or just marking points in the house, kind of like night lights, or if you have a power outage, just putting them in different rooms so you can find your way around in the dark. If you go up from that, you get 55 lumens. Now this 55 doesn't sound like a lot, but this is pretty much 360-degree throw. Obviously you're not throwing it downwards, but this is a great deal of throw, and this will actually light up a room fairly well. It's not going to be super bright as if you've got the lights on, but at the same time, I mean, how much are you expecting out of this little guy? Remember that this is largely just a diffuser disc on top. And just to change modes, I'm just holding the button on the bottom. To move on, we come into and that last one, the 55 lumens, will last for about 3 hours. Now, this is, camera's getting a little bit washed out, but as you can see, this is a red light. The top is very red in real life. The exposure and balance is not great on the phone camera. And this will last about 7 hours, and this is about 7 lumens. So if you're looking to preserve night vision, and this does have mode memory, then this is going to be a great option. If you hold again, you get a flashing version that will last for 30 hours. And the flashing version is going to be great for signaling. If you keep one of these in the glove box or in your pack and you happen to break down, you can put this on your car to act as a hazard signal. Or you could even put it further down the road if you're on the bend to alert people. And if you're worried, but what if it's going to roll off the car? Well, that's not really going to be a problem because these are magnetic. So you can just slap this to the car. You could actually, on the brighter 55 lumen mode, stick this underneath your hood to light up the engine bay. It's a very useful feature, and it interfaces quite well with some other accessories. Now, some other specs on this. This is IPX7 waterproof, meaning that you can completely submerge this. Water is not going to be a problem for this guy, and it actually floats. They encourage you to use Obulbs in water, be it in the bath or a pool. They kind of advertise it as a water-suitable toy, basically. And it's going to have a 1.5 meter drop resistance. Now, the weight does vary between the models, but this one is the lightest at 55 grams, and they are all roughly in there. I think the MC is about 58 grams, and I think the MCS is just a little bit heavier. So if you're counting every little gram for through hiking or something, you may want to check the exact weights on the other ones, but if you're through hiking, you probably don't want all the funky colors and stuff anyway. Now, this, as we went through, this does have mode memory. If you do want to just come in, instead of going to mode memory, into the soft or the moonlight mode, you can just hold that a little bit, and that'll go straight into the low mode. no matter what you were on previously. And if you hold it down longer than that, it'll actually go into lockout mode. On lockout mode, it will come on when you press it, but it won't stay on. Great for throwing in the pack or for storage, so you're not going to drain the battery. And if you just hold it again, it comes out of it onto low, and you can cycle through your modes as normal. So that, or rather, those are the original Obulb, and these do come in a variety of different colorways. Next is the MC. The MC does come in more colorways. I believe there is a white, obviously there's a red here, there is a black, I want to say there's an orange as well. I own 4 MCs, but I don't need that many Obulbs, so most of them are still in the packages. They just came in a 4-pack with a bundle of stuff I bought. So this is going to operate the same way largely. This does have the flatter base, so it's not going to just push on. However, the UI is largely the same. So you're going to have your low mode. Oh, we skipped through there. Okay, so we have low, and on this you're just going to click through to your high. So instead of holding, you're just pressing it once. And we have red, green, blue. This is a color changing option. This will just gradually pass between all the colors. And we have the same thing, but it's a little bit more stark, a little bit more beacony, and flashing red before off. If at any point you want to turn it off whilst you're in any of the modes instead of cycling all the way through, you just hold down until it turns off. And you can long press from off to go straight into the low white mode as well. There is an additional hidden mode, I think, what is it, it's Color Party or something like that, where you get a very cool looking swirl of all the colors at once. It's not really a change, they are actually happening at the same time to create a swirling, almost iridescent pattern. On the MC, that is a bonus mode, which is really a shame. It is quite fun, but the only way to get into it is to just keep clicking until it happens, and it is random. So once you get into it, it's very easy as you're clicking through to actually just turn it off. It's also a little easy to mistake it with another mode, and where it is in the sequence of modes is also, I believe, random. That's not it. And it's not like you can it'll just come on one day when you're using it. You have to click within, I want to say it's like between 5 or 7 seconds or something. There you go. Well, I can show that off. You can kind of see it on my hand there. It's very pleasing to look at in real life, but it is just random. And worse than that, it is timed. It'll only stay on for like 30 seconds or something like that. So that is a shame. And that's largely just what you're getting on top of the regular one. You're just getting the additional colors. So if you're not interested in the additional colors, probably stick with the original one. And the final version is the MCS. Now I'll just quickly go through the modes here again. You have your low, your high, red, green, blue, a nice color changing, a beacony color change, flashing, and off. Now I believe and don't quote me on this, you'll have to check yourself on a forum or something, but I believe that the color party, or color whatever it's called, mode is included in this, but there's kind of like a hidden game where you could unlock it as a permanent mode. I've not spent the time and effort doing that yet. I will at some point. But it's nice they at least give you the option of making it a permanent one, and it's kind of cool and kind of frustrating that they're making a game out of it. So you've got 3 different versions with 3 different feature sets. That's right. This isn't just colors. This I should probably go into that first. This also has a motion sensor in it that will allow it to act like a night light when it is charging. So let me just go ahead and show you that. These do come with an MCC charging cable, not this one particularly, but the others do. I'm just using an O port just for ease of filming. The O port is USB-C, so I'm just going to whack that in there and throw it into a power bank, just so you can get an idea of what is happening. And the general idea here is just that when movement occurs, this will light up, and that's quite a nifty feature. You might think, well, what's the point of that? You know, this might not be the most organic thing to place somewhere, and that's very true. However, this is very special in that it comes with a special charger that allows you to effectively use this as a nightlight. Just does not really want to work right now, which might just be because this is charging off a power bank, maybe. Who knows? But it does work and goes off all the time, whether or not you want it to. Or when you're recording a video, it won't. It'll make you look like a fool. I'll remember this Obulb. Anywho, on to the special charger in question. That is this. This is the MCA adapter. And as you can see, in the UK, we have the 3-prong plug. This will vary based on what country you purchase it in. And it is a standard USB charging adapter, but it also has the magnetic connector on top. The idea being that this will sit in your wall, and when people walk past, it will act like a nightlight, as well as make sure that the Obulb is charged at all times. This can be great for kids' rooms or hallways if you're going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And it's also great from a preparedness sense because using it in this function means that the battery will always be ready to go. Now this does bring up what does come in the box. So let's bring these guys back on. So again, left to right, Obulb original, MC, MCS. They all come with charging cables apart from the MCS, which comes with the adapter. And they all come with a coin. This is in plastic, but I'll show you that. It's a nice metal coin, and you might be wondering, well, that's neat, but what's the point? Well, it's adhesive backed. And the idea here is that you stick this, perhaps on the headboard or on the wall next to your bed, or perhaps in a cupboard or a closet, and then you can just slap the Obulb on it. Just grab it like that, and it allows you to affix the Obulb anywhere. This idea is also usable elsewhere. You can also stick an Obulb like this to a surface that has an exposed screw or bolt. You can do that, say, in a patio setting or on a balcony railing to provide some mood lighting for an evening gathering. The MC also comes with googly eyes that you can stick onto it. And this one, as I said, comes with the MCA. The coin itself will vary a little bit in color and shape. Some of them are round, some of them are shield shaped, some of them are blue, some of them are red. And I believe that varies based on which one you get. So let's talk pricing. Now, obviously, the more features you get, the higher up in price you're going to go. As of the time of filming this, the standard price on the Olight website is £20 for the original, £30 for the MC, and £40 for the MCS. I would generally not pay full price, even the one that I actually bought myself individually. I got that on Amazon on sale for like £15, maybe 14. Sales on Olight happen most months. The discounts are pretty good, and there's a good chance that you can get Obulbs for free or part of a bundle. That is my recommendation for grabbing Obulbs. You would really have to weigh up if you want an MC, the multicolor version, because unless you're going to be using the colors a lot, I don't think that price gap is worth it. However, I do think the price jump for the MCS is more worth it because you're getting the adapter. This is going to work not just for your Olight products, and it doesn't have to just be Obulbs. You can charge any Olight product on this. Baton 3. And it's got a USB, so you can still charge your phone or your non-MCC products. And that's a lot of value, in my opinion. That really helps justify the price jump. So I would actually say if you want colors, maybe just consider just jumping to this if you can afford it. Otherwise, if you need the savings, go for the normal multicolor version. One of the reasons that the colors exist, in my opinion, is not just to amplify the persona of the Obulb as a novelty, mood lighting tool, but also that for kids. This is very small. This is very easily handled by a child. The button's very easy to press, and the accessories that are available for the Obulbs are very kid friendly, no matter how old that kid is on the inside or out. And that's another strength of the Obulbs, in my opinion, is the accessories. One of which we've seen here in the MCA adapter, and the included medallions to make them wall fixtures. But one of the ones particularly for kids that are going to appeal is the Sling. This is basically just a silicone holder. It's stretchy, smells a little bit. And the basic idea here is that you're just going to just put this in here and pull it down. You can put it the other way so that the bulb is at the bottom. I personally prefer it like that because it's easier to get to the switch. And then you can give this to a kid on a walk. They can put it around their wrist. They can play with it. You can swing it around. The retention on the Sling is pretty significant. I personally wouldn't, because the Obulb is a substantial amount of weight compared to the Sling. So I would personally be a little worried about coming out, but I don't really think that's likely. These are exceedingly cheap and were included in pretty much every Obulb apart from the originals for free. They just come as a free accessory from the Olight store. Another fun accessory is this little guy. This is the O-Buddy, and he turns your Obulbs quite simply into an astronaut. These are just little loose flaps, and there is a MCC charging connector down there. And then there's one on his back, so you can, some O-port, consigned to, here you go. So you can just snap the charger onto the back of him. The feet are quite wide, they stay on their feet quite well, but they don't have much tip resistance. But this is a great little novel way to have an Obulb on your desk or in your kid's room. And let's face it, they're cute. And again, the pass-through charging is quite useful. If you don't have many Obulbs, you could actually use this as a charging dock. Just a rather whimsical one. On the note of charging docks, we have this, and this will get its own video. This is the Olight Oino in white. And this is actually surprisingly classy. It's a low-profile 4-port charger, so you can charge 4 Obulbs at once. And this is actually where most of my Obulbs came from. in the bundle was an Oino, and it included 4 Obulbs. So again, this whole chart's not just your Obulbs, but any magnetic Olight you have. If you have multiple Obulbs, this is really a great convenience tool. Takes, there it is, USB-C, and has, you can see there, an indicator light near each Obulb. That will be red when charging and green when fully charged. And finally, on the accessory front, is the Olink. Now the Olink is sticking to everything because that's what it does, but it is essentially a very strong magnet connected to a ring-style carabiner. Rated not for climbing, as it will tell you quite readily. And that arm just bends like that. Olight didn't invent this kind of ring. They are the first time that I saw it, but you can buy these elsewhere online. I want to say that this full price is about £6-7. This just allows you to clip your Obulb onto something like a backpack, perhaps a handle in your house, and I even saw some get people with Obulbs just actually hang this from their dog's collar so that they could see their dog on nighttime walks. Just a general thing, this does work with any metallic magnetic Olight, and it is a significant pull magnet. This isn't likely to, even when you come at an angle, this is not really likely to come off accidentally. So if you get Obulbs, I would really suggest looking for bundles or freebies like the Sling, because they really enhance your overall experience. So would I recommend the Obulbs? 100%. I wouldn't say that you need to get enough so that you can spell Olight with the boxes, which is a thing you can do. But I would definitely say that they're handy to have around, they can be fun to play with, they'll be a hit with any kids you have or may look after. And overall, they're great, but again, look for sales, try not to pay full price, and with how many sales there are and how frequent they are, you don't have to. So what do you guys think of the Obulbs? Do you have any reservations? Do you have them and are you enjoying them? Let us know in the comments section down below. Remember to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to see more content. Now, I've been Paul, this is Geared Forwards, and I will see you in the next one.